Right. Hey everyone, I'm Klloo. So, it's good to finally have a functioning camera again, right? So the app I use changed. And yeah, I had to look up how to set a Wi connection because my Wi-Fi here in Australia just does not cut it, right? But hopefully no drop frames now, right? And we do some box opening. So I thought we'd start with a double hitter. Do Uprising and the Hunted. And we'll see who comes out on top. Now, I'm pretty sure it'd have to be the worst hunted box, and it'd have to be the best uprising box for uprising to amount to more value, right? But there's some cards I wouldn't mind finding from uprising, and I am interested to give Fae a go, right? And finding dragons is always fun. But I think we'll start with the hunted box first, right? Because that'll set the tone. Plus, I'm sure a lot more of you are probably a little bit more interested in the hunted, and I've just cut my nails, and this is annoying. Do I have anything sharp? I do. This will do. Alright. So crack the hunted first. See how we do. And then, yeah, see if the uprising stands any chance at all. Right? What are we looking for? Well, you get a shelter, right? And that's pretty much the box. We're good? Yeah? Yeah, so shelter. God. Legendaries. I think the only one I'm missing is Arakni, but at the same time, I'm not going to be too hung up if we don't get Arachnes. Anyway, might as well talk about the set while we crack, right? Because I did record a case, not great footage, so I don't think I will bother posting that. So, Hunted, right? Very interesting set because I think it furthers the game plan for a lot of classes, right? So we get Dagger Warrior, which is fantastic. We get better stealth support and sort of the drop off of contract. Unfortunately, we have marking, and then we have all the dagger destruction and retrieval that we could ever ask for. So yeah, there's a lot going on in the set, and it makes it quite nice, right? To open, to find cards, and to build with, because it's cool. We get this shift in dynamics, a little bit more of a aggro meta that the Jarl can thrive in, right? At the same time, we're going to be close to Alling, right? Who? Faye? Was someone up there already, right? We've got Zen. I'm sure Cindra's going to go quick, right? I don't think Fang. I think Warrior's still somewhat middle, but you can still have lots of fun with them, right? So yeah, so we should see. Oh, Enigma too. Once Enigma goes, then the floodgates kind of open, right? So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what ends up happening. Where are my Majestics? This is not going well. But why don't we zero in? So Cindra, we'll start there, right? Redline Cindra versus oh, that's a talking point right there. Redline Cindra, or Cindra utilizing some just zero cost cards, right? Because I feel like you just spend your resources on your daggers. You have one floating, and then that sort of helps you out with the Jarl matchup, at least the early game. One of the big issues with Jarl is no matter what you do, it has to be a race, right? You either win in the mid to early game, or you lose. Because the longer it goes on, right, once you start consistently having to deal with 2 to 3 frostbite turn, you're just screwed, right? You can obviously with a red/blue deck, you can pitch away the blue, covers 3 frostbite hopefully, and then just play 3 red cards, right? That's still a valid turn in the late game, but it's not going to be enough. So I do think it's as Cindra, everything is just a race, right? Against Arcane, against Frost, it's just can I put out enough damage? And for that reason, I don't think Redline is absolutely correct. I think you want somewhat of a little mix, right? And I do like cards like Throw Dagger or Prowess, even though Prowess is a bit slow. The main mentality I have, though, when taking the blues, is this a good card? Maybe, maybe not. But if I were to draw this alongside another blue, which one would I want to play? Right? That's the mentality I try to keep, right? When trying to figure out deck construction, what cards to include. And then, of course, we have all the legendaries, right? Rathe Retribution and Fire and Brimstone. Beautiful cards. Rathe Retribution is kind of interesting because it's really great in the early game, but again, against Frostbite, it can really suck because, sure, I've got the dagger swings now, but what can I do with them, right? So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting dynamic. Cindra can still thrive, and you can definitely high roll with the deck. You know, get all your 4s instead of your 3s and be throwing out 16 to possibly 20 damage a turn, right? That's absolute insanity. Or you could, you know, collapse. So yeah, I think LSS has done a good job with it. This is not a good box. This is looking up for Uprising, I gotta say. One thrown dagger, nothing else so far. Oh, Marvel hopefully. Oh, beautiful. There's the other blue, right? So yeah, taking thrown dagger and prowess in Cindra, right? Assassin across the board. I do really like prowess, right? Generally speaking, though, my mentality towards prowess is this is a pitchable or a block, right? The only time I'm playing it is if I do double draw blues. If I double draw blues, then sure, I'll set it up and hopefully, you know, that tempo comes back and, you know, switches the game up, right? Because it is a very nice tempo card, especially in, again, a 0 red line. I'm just going to call it a 0 deck, right? So, yeah, and then, again, anytime you have the resources, they go into the daggers, just extra swings. You can set up Mask of Momentum a little bit more interestingly. I think the other big thing is Flick Knives, Pendant, Mask of Momentum, the Pendant for Cindra, and the whole idea is you're flicking away a dagger, you're taking some Draconic, you're taking some of everything else, and you play your 0 hand of cards, right? If it's a Draconic chain, sure, you get your dagger back. If it's not, you click one dagger away and you roll the dice and hope the next turn you get your dagger back, right? And that's basically the game plan is you're trying to weave in and out of having a Draconic turn and then having a non-Draconic turn. This is not a great box, right? Because, yeah, it's like Calming Breeze or Shelter, right? So the next 3 times you'll be dealt damage this turn, prevent 1 of that damage. So comes out, denies your flick, right? So a card like Thrown Dagger can then suck up another charge, which is okay. It becomes a bit of an issue, right? If you're preventing 4s, because, you know, 4 with Shelter's effect in play, your opponent only has to block a 3. So if you can get through the charges, you can then punish someone who's not overblocking, right? And the main goal of Cindra is just to basically siphon away cards from your opponent. There's something a little bit better, a foil coal. But yeah, I think we're over halfway. The bottom half of this box has to be really, really good to make up for it. So yeah, that's my mentality towards Cindra, right? Chain reaction, that's not bad either. There we go. And point of engagement and all the deck stuff, right? So Dorinthia and Fang. I'm trying to think if Bolton you can mess around with daggers. I don't think you can mess around with daggers in Bolton, right? So and Castle obviously wants swords. So yeah, Dorinthia and Fang, right? There is a ton of good dagger stuff now, right? With all the +4s, +3s, the marking, right? The ongoing, many different ways to go again. So yeah, I do really like daggers. Kiss of Death, that'll do me. And no expansion slot, right? So yeah, daggers in either Fang or Dorinthia is interesting. Again, you're not out competing in aggro deck. You're not probably doing a better job than Assassin, but if you can sort of set things up for big payoff turns, then we're talking, right? And that's where I want to circle back to Oath of Steel, because Oath of Steel I think is always unsung, because again, even in Dorinthia, if you can get that additional swing, it's a 3, right? It's a red, so right? But it amounts to 3 over 2 swings, a 1 and then a 2. If you're using 2 daggers and you can get 2 swings off and 1 other swing, right? So throw your resources, use, it's fine. It's now +4. You then throw in all the other +4s and you're having a decent time. The main issue with Oath of Steel or Ironside Pride, right, is anything that generates counters gets rid of all counters, which obviously does not mesh well with Dawnblade. But daggers, I think I do really, really enjoy it. And again, the more swings you can get off, the higher Oath of Steel ramps. You go from 1 to a 2 to a 3. So that's +3 to a +6 if you can get that 1 extra swing, right? So 3 swings with 1 dagger. And again, with Dorinthia over Fang, you 2 swings there already, as long as your opponent doesn't outblock it, right? So that's definitely something to consider. And you have the flexibility, because it's on both daggers, to pivot, right? They block the first dagger, so you keep a +4 or +3, and then you swing with the other dagger, and that gets across, and that gets the extra swing, right? So yeah, I do like all the dagger support. I do think it's, again, being statted well, right? It's slightly high. So cut deep, there's quite a few +4s, right? So you can definitely swing with the +4s. The main mentality that it seems like LSS had is to basically make sure that Draconic is understated, because you're getting the +1 from Obsidian Firevane, right? So yeah, which is fine, because again, Endurance, you're not going to take Obsidian Firevane. Under the Trapdoor, yeah. Ugh. Not the M you want to see. Again, Uprising is in with a chance, looking at this box. What, erase faces? Nada, a nice foil Burning Blade Dance. 4 packs left. Cold foil. Majestic cold foil. Hey, they're worth a little bit, right? Nada. Majestic Cindra. Oh well. What else? Oh, something good to end it. That is the cold foil, right? Yeah. The lighting's just a little bit shy. Alright, well. With a chance. God. Legendary salvage is this? It's probably a slightly under box, right? Egg stab, Obsidian Firevane. I didn't miss anything. No. And then, of course, you have, like, cut through. Ninja. Ninja's eating well with all the +4s. It's like just everyone gets +4s in aggro now. Which is good. Come on. Lucky last pack for Diced, not foil, majestic, and no expansion slot. Wow. Yeah, so a throw dagger, a Robofor Coal, a prowess, chain reaction, kiss of death, under the trapdoor. So six majestics, right? That's what it's meant to be. 1 foil, that's not that great, and 1 draft cold foil. Right. Well, yeah, definitely doable with Uprising. The Coal's definitely the prime card there, right? Yeah. For speculation. I mean, it's great in Vincent. I meant to say. I always mispronounce the Runeblade heroes. But see what we can find in our box of Uprising. Where's my sharp tool? Alright. 1 Flamescale Furnace, 1 Crown, and it's done. Right? Pretty sure Robofor beats out too. Maybe, we'll see. So who left? Arakni to talk about. Now, something I've seen from playing in Limited for a little bit, right, is Slippy. Slippy would have done much better, I feel, right, for Limited, because he's a bit more equivalent tempo-wise to Fang or Cindra. I mean, you can slow play both of them. Don't get me wrong. Oh, we're in the middle now, aren't we? Yeah. Oak. Nada. And Cold Foil will be at the back, so you have to check both things. So yeah, so Slippy I would have liked to have seen usable. Well, I guess it wouldn't be Slippy, it would be Solitary Confinement, and then Solitary Confinement into the mirror match would be awful. so I guess they didn't really have an out unless they errated Solitary, or, they made a Chaos Young variant, right? But Combustion Point for our first M. Do I care about the destruction? Probably not. What's not destruction? Banish. I mean, it's quite the nice veto, right? +1 and then a -3, maybe. If it didn't cost 1, then I think it'd be a bit more exciting. Powder in the back. Not the greatest first M, but still. In with a chance. So yeah. Slippy for Limited would have been nice to see. Other than that, right, actual deck construction, I think Arakni fares quite well, right? The pivot out of Contract's fine, right? I'm sure. I like Contract. I like building silver, right? Yeah. But I digress. Stealth, marking, chaos, flipping, getting, one of the banished ones, great. Getting Orb Weaver, good. Getting the just plus stats, fine. Right, getting Trapdoor, I'm not a big fan of trapdoor. Rare, nada. So yeah, I do think I still like Flippy overall, right? Just because again, I'm more akin to aggro decks. Brightmare, also not fantastic, I think, right? I'm not too well versed in my illusionist cards. So yeah, I think meta-wise he'll do quite well, right? Because you have a lot of good counters. The daggers are again a little bit awkward, right? Is Hunter's Clave short printed? I feel like I saw something about that, right? So that is a little bit annoying because Hunter's Clave is definitely the dagger you want, right? Invoke. Oh no, the legendary's here. Too bad it's a pique, right? I can tell by the art, unfortunately. Right before him. It's not a legendary, still legendary, right? And then normal invoke Tomatal. Pretty. I mean, take a guess, right? I mean, I'll edit the prices, but yeah. Cold Foil's not in the back. Always Cold Foil in the back. Cold Foil's in the back, Legendary's in the foil, right? This is where it was confusing. Yeah. Something like that. So I'm still checking the back up. Or is the Cold Foil in the foil? I don't know. I don't know in the early sets where all the cards are. So I guess we just thumb through the lots. A Thor. Thor is an interesting thought, right? So I wish we had a card like this that fit aggro, right? So if it was a 0 for 2, I'd take a 2 just to set up the I can destroy Frostbite card, right? I feel like that would be really, really worth it. The nicer things you can sort of do is, well, block with it, too. That's a bit unfortunate. But I guess use like, I'm going to say Call to the Grave, but Call to the Grave is not the right card. Gravekeeper? Is that the phrasing? Gravekeeper for the card, right? To send it to the graveyard. So yeah, I mean it's a great out in Jarl if you can get set up. But that's the big issue is if you can get set up. God, I'm trying to think if there's any other way to search it out in Ninja, and there's just not. Same with the Warrior, right? Because most of the search mechanics end up banishing, and you could banish, play it. Again, it being 2 cost is kind of awkward, right? But Ninja you can't because well, Lynx is 2 power, right? Otherwise that would be fantastic. I think that would kind of really help in the Jarl game, right? If you could swap out Mask for Lynx it, and then just have it there for that one turn where you need that final push. But no, it's a 2 cost attack. I don't think it's worth running just to try and get into your graveyard, especially in a 60 card deck, right? But yeah, just the ability to Thor would be nice, right? Oh well. Rewind. Cool. Searing Touch. Searing Touch is interesting because Rapture is, easy enough. There's 5 attack one, I feel is a little better, right? Than Searing Touch, than the damage. When you attack, this deals 2 damage to any target. Actually, no. The deal 2 damage to any target is actually nice because again, it can eat through shelter. All the damage ping effects I'm putting a little bit more stock into, right? Because you really have to get through the charges so that you can then, get the damage across, get your Mask Momentum trigger, or force your opponent to block more. Uprising. Rake over the coals, if you're in straight daggers, is fine, right? Because at minimum, technically speaking, it's a +2, right? You throw in 1 more Draconic attack, it's a +3, and then you throw in another Draconic attack, it's a +4. So yeah, I'm going back and forth between whether or not I want to take like a 0 attack Cindra deck, or I want to take a Draconic deck that takes, all the 4s, Oath, Blaze Headlong, Rake over Coals, Uprising. Rake over Coals is nice too because it's instant, so you can bait an attack with it. Double Strike though. Double Strike is a nice M, definitely, right? Just get the 2 attacks across. Like having extra daggers. Nada. And nada. I don't miss the top one. I think Uprising won. I think Uprising might have already won. Nada. What's Burn Away? Burn Away is destroy Phoenix Flame, right? Yeah, no. Nope. Unless you had a way to play it from the back, so. Right? That would have been cool if you had a proper cycle of the Phoenix, right? I don't know. Converts to Ash, guess, in the bash zone for Dromite to turn to dragons. Other than that, nada. Phoenix Flames is also another thought, right? I don't. Do you take them just for the chain links? Yeah. Quelling Robe in Rainbow. I'll put it aside, right? That might be worth something. Because it does seem like you want one AB. Well, Cindra, again, if you're taking the flick build, right? Your objective is not to swing with daggers, it's just to flick a dagger. So one dagger's fine. Another Uprising. God. Is Inflame naturally Rainbow Foil extended art, or is this special? That I don't know. It's a common card. They do commons? I'll take it. Now I'm thinking if I have any other Inflames. But yeah. Cindra, what do you say? Yeah, Cindra, you take one dagger, Arcane Lantern, and then your legs and your chest are your functional pieces to swap out, right? Because then arms and head are mandatory. So yeah, one piece of Quelling, and then one piece more of Arcane Barrier. So then you have 2 Arcane Barrier and 1 Quelling. Although, well, it depends which wizard, right? Kano, you take just Arcane Barrier, right? Oslo, you'd probably take the Quelling for the physical attack turns. Alright. Nothing to end off. I may have missed the cold foil. Let's look in now. Please be in here so I don't have to look through the pile. Right? Heatwave, no M, and double legendary box. I think Uprising's one, even though it is Ghostly Touch. One day Ghostly Touch might be cool, right? What to do? When an illusion's attack you control is destroyed by Phantasm, put a haunt counter on Ghostly Touch. Yeah, God, don't you love English? Once per turn action, remove 1 counter from Ghostly Touch until the end turn. This becomes an illusionist ally with Phantasm, base 1, and life equal to the number of counters on it. Once per turn, pay 3 attack, go again. That's a big, right? And the 0 block. Be nice if it was no block. But, God. No, you'd probably never get stat well enough. When a ally with Phantasm. No, sorry. Remove a, what is it? Destroyed by, there we go. That's the other issue. If it was when an illusionist attack you control with Phantasm is destroyed, so there was other outs, right? That'd be kind of cool. But still, again, depending what they do with future illusionists, maybe. So yeah, we have this measly pile for the hunted. Then we have that pile, which I don't really tell, right? But we did a lot better in the Uprising box, right? What do we get? 1 legendary. I don't know what that is. That side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 legendaries. Right? 6, 7. So same with the majestic count, but it's not a hero. Right? 6 and 1 foil. It looks like. No, 7 and 1 foil. Did I miscount? I did. 7 and 1 foil. So slightly better. And then 2 legendaries. So yeah, I think Uprising might just take it. Right? Instead of, depends how much the foil call is worth, I suppose. Right, I think I would say Kiss of Death is the next highest card. Maybe a Chain Reaction. Throwing Dagger might be up there a little bit. Something like that. Maybe that. In terms of pricing. Anyway, it'll be on screen. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.